It is literally morning. Without any preparation, I'm here to talk to you about vegan snobbery. I gotta ask myself that question too. Am I a vegan snob? Wow. Good question. As I think about it, pretty much my position on it is that meat will not go away. I mean, the killing of animals and what we have going on in the world today is not going to go away in my lifetime. I'm doing my part. I'm living in what I feel is a very spiritual, I've got to say it, there is a spirituality that definitely comes with changing your diet. I'm not going to hide that fact, or I'm not going to discount that fact. It's not that some people are more spiritual or anything like that. It is a spirituality that comes with living that life, and whether you know that it's happening to you or not, walking the earth and causing as little pain as possible definitely puts you into a different spiritual plane. And like I said, it's not something that is unachievable by anybody on this planet, so I'm not saying that, I'm better or anything else, but it is something that's achievable. You have the will to achieve it. That being said, and why I'm even approaching on this is because there are so many vegans out there that want to exclude other vegans from being vegan, or people that may not be like 100% with it. Say if you take somebody that doesn't eat meat most of the week and then on Saturday they eat meat, they're definitely helping this world. They're aiding this world. What about vegans that are doing it for health only? From what I have heard, yeah, you do come to a point where you realize what's happening to the animals. You have that wake-up call. I can't say that because somebody is doing veganism for health is not a part of that awakening. But back to the general question, am I a vegan snob? I might appear to be, because I do not touch anything with milk in it. I do not touch anything with meat in it. If you can nourish yourself with plant-based diet, you take a sentient being, and why cause them pain when you don't have to? I can't guarantee that I haven't accidentally ingested something that has milk solids in it, or something that may have cheese in it that I didn't know. Also, there's dirty vegan items too. Food colorings that you might get with processed food. They may be vegan in themselves, but then some element in that processed food could have been tested on an animal. Do I accidentally ever take a step and kill a bug because there happens to be a bug under my foot? Maybe so. I will kill fleas on my cats. Cats are obligatory carnivores. They need certain elements in meat, and definitely I'm not putting them on a vegan diet. I've known of people to do that to their cats, and then their cats suffer. You're causing the cat suffering, so you're causing suffering to a sentient being. That's one of the dilemmas too. If you have a house infested with roaches, what are you going to do? In the big picture, I mean, you have this entire world with this thing, this mass thing happening as far as the meat industry is concerned. If you say anything against the meat industry, you can get sued for animal and human alike. It is not a good thing. I mean, people that work in meat packing plants and slaughterhouses, you can't just diss them. It might be the highest paying thing going on in a certain region. You take some element with its fingers so deeply entrenched in this world, it takes little steps to get out of it. I mean, all we can try to do is help people to realize what it's about, live by example, turn down anything that happens to have meat in it. I try to do it in a very nice way. Oh, no, thank you. Yeah, this has meat in it. I don't go on a rant or anything and say, I'm vegan. I never eat anything like that. Never eat anything that has meat in it or any animal product. You try not to be bullying about it. Same thing if you have something that might be cooked in lard or, some other type of meat fat. It's touched meat or somehow has been exposed to meat, even though it might be plant-based. You may not want it. Some vegans and vegetarians, they'll pick the meat out of whatever it is, but still been highly exposed to meat. And what do you do? What do you do if you go to a restaurant and the same oil that used to cook something fried that's maybe plant-based is also used to cook meat? Or as a vegan, you try to avoid things like that. But, what if somebody makes a mistake? Chances are, as vegans, we all, unless we're totally preparing our own food, prepared from our own garden, that one way or another there has been the involvement of the death of an animal, whether it be a bug, whether it be a larger animal considered a varmint or a varmint. Quite honestly, I don't think any of us come up clean. I mean, we would love to go out in the world and just absolutely not have an exposure to meat, not ever use anything that has been tested on or anything to do with that, but it's just not going to happen. You could be dealing with molecules, and you could be dealing with molecules of things in your regular everyday life. If you happen to be vegan and somebody else in your house is not vegan, what's the chance that they cook some kind of meat in a cooking utensil? Like, you may wash it, but what are the chances that you're getting all the residue off, all the microscopic and all the atomic residue off that cooking utensil? I mean, do you really want to go that far? Don't make your life impossible. When I try not to expose myself to meat, maybe I do sound like a vegan snob, and sometimes just the word saying that I'm a vegan, that'll get you right there. You are a vegan, so you must be a snob. People may perceive you as snobby if you happen to turn your nose up at somebody killing an animal and they think it's funny. You're out to cause the least amount of suffering, and you can't really control what somebody else is doing to animals. I'm talking all the way from animal abuse, like abusing cats and dogs, to somebody that happens to be killing their own chickens for food. And it happens, and you work with people that do, and you live with people that do. So you can't really sequester yourself. You got to get out there and you got to face this world day by day. Killing animals is the culture. The only thing you can do is try your very best to let it end with you. You can't control anything beyond what is happening with you. Again, I'm not the kind of person that if you go and eat a cheeseburger, I'm going to get down on you, because number one, I don't necessarily know where your journey is. I live with a non-vegan. I see that all the time, even though, I talk to him about the health benefits of veganism, and he does eat more plant-based. Just because I eat more plant-based, it's not his total diet. I can't necessarily judge that, and I can't control it. I pretty much control what I can, which is the intake of what goes in my mouth. There's something that I don't know about in a processed food, I could very well be ingesting it. I'm sorry to anybody if I do actually come off with something that looks like snobbery. It's not my intention, and I'm not out there judging people who do this and do that. Most of the people that I work with on a daily basis and I live with on a daily basis are carnivores, and they're not going to be anything but. Thank you for anybody that doesn't necessarily see me as a snob. And then there's cases of, how far into veganism are you? Are you just a food vegan? Are you somebody who will not wear clothes that has to do with animal products? What's the deal there? Me, I'm pretty much as plant-based as I can be. And anybody else that's as plant-based as they can be, that's good enough for me. I mean, if you go eat that cheeseburger, all in all, maybe by the description of the word vegan, I cannot necessarily say, yeah, you're vegan, but that doesn't mean I would think any less of somebody for actually doing what they can. Everybody is on their own journey, and that's just kind of the way it's got to be. I'm not saying if you want to live a full vegan lifestyle that you go out and you eat meat like once a week. No, not at all. I accidentally drank something that had milk solids in it, and it made me sick. I was feeling so congested, and when I looked at the ingredients in it, I saw an ingredient that I didn't know was in there. So just do your very, 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 very best. I know that there's people that don't want to go into a vegan lifestyle because it is so restrictive, or it sounds so restrictive. If you decide to eat meat like twice a week instead of every single day, you're definitely helping the situation. You're saving animals. Realize what's happening with these animals, and I think the more of the realization that you come to, the less you are going to use in your life as far as meat is concerned. So anyway, with the label vegan, I think that it does in itself promote sort of a snobby way of being, because you got this whole bunch of people that are going to turn down anything that anybody fixes, but that doesn't have to be the case. You can cook for a vegan as easily as you can cook for somebody else, probably a whole lot easier. A vegan might actually look at a pot of greens as a good thing. If you just fix a pot of greens, I mean, you got a feast going on. Sometimes vegans will turn down stuff. Somebody does something nice, like they fix something for you, and they don't realize that there is milk in it, or a milk product, or a cheese product in it, or something like that, then what do? As a vegan, it really probably would not be somebody went out of their way to do something for you like that. What are you going to do? Totally turn it down? You can say thank you. You can say thank you and take it and find something else to do with it. Find someone else to give it to without being snobby about it, because somebody was actually thinking of you when they actually cooked it. It's good enough that people do know that you're vegan, because then at least they're trying. I mean, as a vegan, the only thing you can do is try, because you're not going to separate yourself totally from anything to do with the meat industry. You can separate yourself from a large amount of it, but you can't separate yourself from the small things. Separate yourself the best you can, but don't separate yourself from the people who are around you. Don't separate yourself from circumstances that could happen that could lead you to ingest something that might be more than just plant-based. That's kind of being unfair to everybody else. It's also being unfair to yourself. Who wants to walk around with a microscope and see on a cellular level what you're digesting? That really, you're not being fair to yourself, you're not being fair to others. I think vegans do kind of appear to be snobs to other people. I'm sure that there's some out there that actually are snobs. Matter of fact, I've met one or two in my life, and it kept me further from this path that I'm on right now than it would have kept me had they not been snobs, or had they been encouraging to me. I've met some very nice vegetarians and vegans too. I've had nice ones that have turned down food that I may have cooked, and it might have had eggs in it or milk in it. They just turned it down with a no thank you. I was just very happy with that, because people turn down food for various reasons all the time. They didn't have to go into an explanation. There is a humility to actually maintain, and if somebody perceives you as a snob, I mean, there really isn't too much you can do about that, because there is a lot of perception. If somebody happens to be vegetarian or vegan, that automatically they're going to be snobby. Your want to not cause pain to animals that's one thing, and you have to address that, and you can't go around eating a cheeseburger every time somebody presents you with a cheeseburger. But another thing is, you've got to kind of maintain that balance where you're not ingesting things like that, but you're not being offensive to anybody, or excluding them from your club. You don't know within yourself who might become vegan later on, or who may become vegetarian later on, as it were. On their journey in life, you just don't know. With that being said, that was just something that I wanted to kind of get off my chest. Glad to have this little chat with you. If you like my channel, please subscribe. I will talk to you later. Thank you very much, and have a good day.